we're going to be looking at multiplying binomials. Let's start with just a basic solving problem. We have 4 plus 3 squared. Let's solve it two different ways. Let's add it first and then square it. So if we do that, we'll do 4 plus 3, which is 7. 7 squared is 49. Let's try it another way. Let's distribute the squared first and then add. So if we distribute the squared, we'll get 4 squared plus 3 squared. 4 squared is 16, 3 squared is 9, and that is 25. So if we do it two different ways, we get two different answers. The question is, which method is correct? Let's do it one more way, using the area model to multiply out a binomial. So this one right here, if we have 4 plus 3 and 4 plus 3, and I'm going to build these into rectangles and find the area of each rectangle. So the first rectangle is 4 times 3, which is 16. The second rectangle is 3 times 4, which is 12. The bottom rectangle is also 4 by 3, which is 12. And the last rectangle is 3 times 3, which is 9. And if we were to add up all these areas together, we get 49. So the correct way to do this is order of operations, using order of operations. So this method right here, which says do parentheses first and then square it. So the reason why we go over this is because now when we're looking at multiplying something called a binomial, binomial means two terms, x plus 3, two terms, binomial. There is a wrong and a right way to multiply this. The wrong way is to take your x plus 3 and distribute the squared. You could do that if there is no plus right here, but since there's a plus and you have two terms, you cannot distribute the squared. This would not be the right answer. The correct way is we could use that area model. This means x plus 3 times x plus 3, and find the area of each rectangle and add them together. So let's do that. X times x is the first box, and that gives us x squared. The second box is 3 times x, which is 3x. The lower left-hand corner is x times 3, which is 3x. And the lower right-hand corner is 3 times 3, which is 9. If we combine like terms and write it in something called general form, the highest exponent we write first, x squared. We can put together our 3x and our 3x. It's like saying we have 3 apples and 3 apples. How many apples do we have? 6 of them. And then we have this 9. So here's the correct answer for x plus 3 times x plus 3. It's x squared plus 6x plus 9. It is not x squared plus 9. So you can't distribute the squared if there's a plus or minus between. You can write out a rectangle, find the area of each, and add them together. So let's try that a few more times, and then I'll also show you another method for doing the same thing. So let's multiply out x plus 5 times x plus 1. The first box is x times x, which is x squared. The second box is 5 times x, which is 5x. The next box is x times 1, which is 1x, or just x. And the last box is 5 times 1, which is 5. When you write it out in general or standard form, we start with the highest exponent, x squared. We're going to combine like terms. 5x plus 1x is 6x, and we have our 5 here. So when we multiply out x plus 5 times x plus 1, we get x squared plus 6x plus 5. Let's try the next one. Multiply out x plus 6 times x minus 3. On the top of my box, you can put either binomial first. So I'll just put the first one on top. We have our x minus our 3. Everywhere you see a plus and a minus, you're going to draw a line. Now be careful, the negative goes with the 3. So this is a negative 3 right here. All right, we got x times x is x squared. 6 times x is 6x. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. And 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. So then we write it with the highest exponent first, x squared. We're going to combine like terms. 6x minus 3x is 3x. And then we have our minus 18. So this is called multiplying out a binomial. Let's do one with a few negatives, and we'll do a binomial times a trinomial, and then I'll give you another method for solving. So the next one, 2x plus 7. Again, either one can go on top and either one can go on the side. When you draw your rectangle, put lines down for pluses and minuses. The first box is 2x times x, which is 2x squared. The next box is 7 times x, which is 7x. We have 2x times negative 2, which is negative 4x. And the last box is 7 times negative 2, which is negative 14. When we write out the answer, start with our highest exponent, the x squared, and there's 2 of them. Combine like terms here. 7x minus 4x is negative. That's positive 3x. And then we have our minus 14. We can also use this rectangle or this box method to multiply a trinomial times a binomial. Trinomial has 3 terms, the x squared minus the 2x plus 1, and we also have x squared minus 3. So here's our rectangle. Everywhere we see plus and minus, draw your lines. We have 6 boxes this time. X squared times x squared, that's x to the 4th. Negative 2x times x squared is negative 2x to the 3rd. 1 times x squared is x squared. Negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times negative 2x is positive 6x. I don't have to write the plus, but I did. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. All right, here the highest exponent is x to the 4th. We're going to write that first. We only have 1x to the 3rd, negative 2x to the 3rd. We have 2x squared, so we have negative 3x squared plus x squared is negative 2x squared. And then we have our minus 3 at the end. So you can use this to multiply a trinomial times a binomial as well. Okay, another method for multiplying this out without the box is called FOIL. It stands for first, outer, inner, last. So let's do that for this first example. F is first. You multiply the first 2 terms. X times x is x squared. O stands for outer terms, or outside, which would be x times 5. That's 5x. I stands for the inner terms, 3 times x, which is 3x. And L stands for our last 2 terms, 3 times 5, which is 15. So you get the same thing as you would in the box, except without writing the box. Let's combine like terms, x squared plus 8x plus 15. So we'll try FOIL a few times, and on your assignment you can use either method. The box is easier if you have a trinomial, but otherwise FOILing works. So let's try the next one. All right, so first is x times x, x squared. O is outer, x times negative 4 is negative 4x. I is inner, negative 5x times, negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And L is last. Negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. Combine like terms, we get x squared minus 9x plus 20. Okay. The next one, 2x plus 5 squared means 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 5. Remember, again, you can't distribute the squared. Instead, you have to write 2 of them, and you can multiply them out using the box or FOIL. So let's FOIL. All right, first would be 4x squared. Outer would be 2x times 5, which is 10x. Inner is 5 times 2x, which is also 10x. Oops. And last would be our 5 times our 5, which is 25. Combine like terms, we get 4x squared plus 20x plus 25. All right, our last one here is a binomial times a trinomial, and if you want to FOIL it, you have to multiply the x by everything first. So this would be x to the 3rd power plus 3x squared plus 7x. And then you have to multiply the 1 by everything, the second term by everything. You would get x squared plus 3x plus 7. Combine like terms. We have x to the 3rd. We have 4x squared. We have 10x. And we have this 7. You would get the same thing if you use the rectangle, except without writing the box. So today we're going to be practicing multiplying this out, and you can choose if you want to use the FOIL or the box to multiply it out.